It's been almost 2 years since the debut Dream Academy ended, and while KATSEYE are thriving and gaining more popularity by the day, the other contestants have all gone their separate ways. So what are the potential members up to nowadays? Brazilian trainee Samara Sequeira easily had the potential to debut, especially since she ended the show ranked 7th, just outside the final group. She had only been with the company for about 2 months before Dream Academy started, but that didn't stop her from standing out. Her stage presence, talent, and especially her close friendship with Lara made her a fan favorite early on, but as the show progressed, controversy started to follow her. People discovered that Samara had allegedly liked several TikTok posts that caused a lot of backlash. Some of those posts were said to include offensive content toward Indians, while others involved political takes about Palestine and Israel, with many accusing the videos of being pro-Israel and using religion to justify the situation. Additionally, people online claimed she was connected to an evangelical church in Brazil that has ties to former Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro. To make things worse, people pointed out that the church had a history of posting anti-Chinese and anti-Indian rhetoric, adding even more fuel to the conversation around her. Some believe those claims were exaggerated or false, but nothing's been confirmed so far. It didn't take long for people to connect the dots, with speculation growing that this was the real reason Samara didn't make it into the final lineup, though that's never been officially confirmed. As for Samara now, it doesn't look like she's in any rush to debut as an artist. However, she's still active, regularly sharing dance and vocal covers on social media, so it seems like she's keeping her options open for whatever comes next. Ezreela also looked like a strong candidate for the group, especially after ranking 8th on the show. Everyone was impressed by her talent, and with her speaking Japanese, Spanish, and Korean, many thought HYBE would use that to expand their global reach, but in the end, she didn't make it into the group. That didn't stop her though. In a recent interview, Ezreela shared that she's now focused on studying the music industry at university. She's learning everything from production to marketing because she wants full control over her career. Despite missing out on the debut, she's still working on music, crafting demos with hopes of releasing her first album. But as a self-proclaimed perfectionist, she admits nothing will be released until it meets her high standards. Apparently, her style mixes pop, Indian influences, K-pop, Bollywood, and even video game aesthetics, and honestly, we can't wait to hear what she comes up with. Some of the contestants managed to debut, or at least came pretty close. Nayoung, for example, joined another survival show called Girls on Fire in March 2024, and even placed first in the competition. But despite winning, the group never got to debut because the agency behind the project pulled the plug that December. May had better luck, officially debuting in October 2024 with the group Say My Name. Carly, who was eliminated around the same time as May, took a different path and debuted as a solo artist in April with her first single Little Things. Brooklyn, also eliminated during that same period, actually started her solo career earlier, dropping her debut single Selfish back in March 2023 and continuing to release music since. Ilya has been focusing on solo music too, releasing multiple songs, while others from the show either leaned more into dancing or quietly stepped away from the industry altogether. From the start of the debut Dream Academy, most viewers believed that Lexi was a guaranteed pick for the final lineup. She seemed to have everything going for her. Stunning visuals that perfectly matched East Asian beauty standards, from her skin tone to her facial features and even her vocal tone, which made her easily marketable in both Eastern and Western industries. On top of that, Lexi was incredibly talented, had a strong stage presence, and maintained great relationships with both the other trainees and the staff. It was clear she was well liked, not just by fans, but also by the mentors, HYBE, Geffen, and even Bang PD himself. That's why, in October 2023, fans were completely blindsided when Lexi suddenly dropped out of the show while it was still airing. According to the official statement, Lexi's time in the competition helped her realize she wanted to pursue a different path, which was music production. They explained that this decision better matched her personal goals, and the Dream Academy team fully respected her choice, thanking fans and the other contestants for all the support she had received. Still, her exit left many fans heartbroken and stunned, especially those who had seen her as a sure debut. One user wrote, "I'm honestly devastated, but I'm glad that Dream Academy has helped her realize that it's not the path she wants to take in her life." Turns out, things behind the scenes were a lot messier than fans originally thought, and Netflix's pop star academy KATSEYE revealed just how complicated it really was, as by episode 7, it became obvious that things weren't working out. The president of HYBE X Geffen sat down with Lexi and told her it was clear she didn't want to be part of the show anymore, especially after missing more than 10 days of rehearsals, and they decided decided it was time to let her go. Lexi then opened up about how, ever since the eliminations for Mission 2, the show started to feel more toxic, with the producers turning the atmosphere into something competitive and uncomfortable, almost like they were intentionally creating tension between the girls to make things more dramatic for viewers. She also criticized the way eliminations were handled, explaining that contestants weren't even told face-to-face when they were cut, but rather found out through a robotic voice coming from a TV screen, which made the whole thing feel even colder and more detached. As for what Lexi is doing now, she hasn't completely walked away from music, but it's clear she's determined to do things on her own terms. In a TikTok video, she expressed that being an idol wasn't the right fit for her because she wanted the freedom to express her full authentic self, and it seems like that's exactly what she's working toward. Although she's been relatively quiet on social media, she has posted a few Instagram stories from the studio showing that she's still making music, and while it's unclear whether she's focusing on producing, planning a solo debut, or both, there's no doubt that plenty of people are excited to see what she does next. Emily was also definitely one of the fan favorites on the show, and even now, people still talk about her. It was pretty clear from the start that both Hybe and Geffen saw her potential too. She ranked top 3 in overall training and development, and in the finale, she tied for 4th place with Lara based on the judges' scores. She was also the only trainee to reach level A, which says a lot about her skills. But it wasn't just the staff who loved her, the other trainees did too. 6 of them picked Emily for their dream lineup, and the current KATSEYE members had nothing but praise for her. She ended up ranking 9th on the show and didn't make the final lineup, but that doesn't mean her career is over. These days, Emily's been focusing on dancing and has already achieved some pretty cool things. Like performing with XG at Coachella, she also helped choreograph Adele's debut song and even returned to acting, starring as the lead in the experimental film O. However, it doesn't look like she's debuting as a soloist anytime soon. Most of her activities after Dream Academy have been dance-related, and in January 2024, she officially signed with Block LA, a talent agency for dancers. As for her Dream Academy friendship, she's still really close with Adela, as they hang out whenever they can and always support each other, and she's also kept in touch with Ezreela and Carly. She even stayed close to the KATSEYE members, and they've been seen hanging out together and cheering each other on even after the show ended. One of the names that kept coming up during and after the show was Adela Jergova, the Slovakian trainee whose journey left fans with more questions than answers. Adela wasn't just another contestant thrown into the mix, as she had been training with the company long before most of the others arrived, even before the girls fully realized they were being filmed for a competition. She was close with a lot of the trainees, helped them improve, earned praise from the mentors, and was widely seen as one of the most skilled in the group. Even the higher-ups seemed to favor her, so when she was eliminated during the very first mission for getting the lowest number of fan votes, the reaction was pure shock. But Adela's time on the show wasn't without its drama, and a lot of that centered around her dynamic with Manon. In Netflix's Popstar Academy, there's a moment where the contestants are opening up to the therapist about how they've been dealing with online hate and negativity. During that session, Adela mentions the idea of pretty privilege, specifically pointing out how frustrating it can be to see how someone like Manon was seemingly doing less and was still being rewarded. After that, viewers ran with the idea that the two had some kind of rivalry, and when KATSEYE finally debuted and Adela didn't publicly congratulate Manon, it only fueled those rumors. Looking back, Adela has made it clear that the situation wasn't as dramatic as people made it out to be. In an interview, she explained how fans were quick to spin harmless, complicated feelings into a full-blown feud, when in reality, it was just two people navigating the ups and downs of working in such a high-pressure environment. According to Adela, people love to imagine tension where there really isn't much, and at the end of the day, these were normal professional disagreements, not some soap opera-style rivalry. Even though Adela didn't make it into the final Dream Academy group, that hasn't stopped her from building a career of her own, and honestly, she's doing more than fine. In September 2024, she made her solo debut with a track called Home Wrecked, which she wrote and produced herself, followed by Superscar just a month later. But it was her third single, Machine Girl, that really turned heads when it dropped in February. The song was her way of addressing the mean girl image she picked up during her time on the show, and it made waves not just because of the message, but because Grimes co-produced the track and even appeared in the music video alongside actress Sophia Wiley. It turns out both Grimes and Sophia were fans of Adela before they even met her. After watching Popstar Academy, they messaged her saying they loved her debut and wanted to support her, which says a lot about how fast Adela's star is rising. Other big names like Charli XCX, Tina Shea, SZA, and Pink Pantheress have also shown her love, so it's pretty clear she's headed for bigger things. That became even more obvious when, this past May, she officially signed with Capitol Records, marking her first major label deal and setting the stage for an even bigger future. As for her relationship with the KATSEYE girls, things seem good with the ones she was actually actually close to during the show. She's still friends with Lara, Sophia, Megan, and Daniela, and they've been spotted hanging out, cheering each other on, and keeping that friendship alive even with all their careers heading in different directions.